come join us. Come join us, yeah, come on, yeah. Love, we love to play. Come join us. Come join us, yeah. Come join us. Come join us, yeah.
Welcome back to Grown Women Talk.
I'm Kia.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Cheré. Friends, when we began the channel, we promised to create a place where it was safe to be able to talk about all kinds of things that matter to women. Family, friends, relationships, politics, any and everything that we think about. We also ask you to write us, to let us know what kinds of things you're thinking about. Questions, comments, anything. We asked you to write us and you did. And we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We received quite a few comments and questions about relationships, and today is our first talk about relationships. So we're going to read a few of them to you. If you have any advice or suggestions for those who wrote us, please add them in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. This is a us thing, not just the three of us,
That's right.
but our community, all of us. This is a safe place where we're all working together to help each other.
Yeah.
So we're going to read just a little bit to you today. We're going to chat a little bit. As we're chatting, feel free to chat in the comments section.
Please.
And all of you can read what each other is writing, and we're going to do this together.
This is our first question.
So here it is. Ladies, I enjoy your show very much and feel supported when I watch. What kind of advice would you give a woman whose husband says our marriage is over? We have been married 16 years, but a few weeks ago he woke up, packed a bag, and said he was leaving. He wants nothing to do with me. I'm shocked and hurt. I feel like I need to move on, but where should I start?
Wow. It's funny when I hear that 16 years, I am actually coming up on 16 years of marriage, and I can't imagine that you don't see that coming. And I guess you start right where you are. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't blame yourself. I say at some point start to do some self-reflection, but you start right where you are and find a group of friends. I mean, some folk where you can just get real and be transparent.
Yes.
Where you can talk about it, share about it, and then you figure it out day by day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a one-step fix.
No,
I don't think it's, in 3 days I'm going to heal my heart, or in 3 years. We don't know how long your journey is going to take. But I think that there's some significant things you can do.
Yes.
And start with some self-reflection. And then, what some of the things that we talk about all the time is figuring out small ways to begin to honor yourself and see your value.
I like that. I mean, I had to say you talk first because I had to take that all in for a minute. I had to think about it. But this just came to me. And I think that, first of all, you have to say to yourself, I am fabulous. I am more than fabulous. Matter of fact, I'm too fabulous for this. And it's time for me to move on. Because sometimes we have to self-talk. We have to talk to ourselves. Somebody has said they don't want to be there. Okay, I am fabulous. I am wonderful.
Yes.
And go and do something for you.
Yes.
Do some self-care. Do something to make yourself feel good. Because so many times as women, we do so much for everybody else. We're taking care of our kids. We're taking care of our spouse. We're doing this and that. And we fail ourselves. Okay, so please take some time to do something for yourself.
Absolutely.
No, I was just going to say, Kia, it's funny that you said that, and I like the thought of affirming myself.
Yes.
And here's the thing,
Yes.
even if you don't feel that way, say it until you do.
Yes.
Because you will. You will not always cry. It will stop.
That's right.
It will. You will not always cry. It will stop. And you really will have to figure out how to balance what you feel so it doesn't turn into this sort of hate. Because that stifles you.
That's right.
But I like the thought of affirming ourselves.
Because by golly gee, sometimes other people are not going to say it to us.
Wait a
Say
minute,
it to ourselves.
not by golly gee.
Oh, I think I'm dating myself. By golly gee, that's right.
I think But I think, and maybe you can weigh in on this. I know we just had the mental health show, and you know what I think we need to caution our listeners about is falling into this depression that can lead to other places.
Yes, absolutely. So you want to be real careful. We all do.
Yes.
That big blows like this, change can often bring on deep sadness. So you want to gauge yourself. Continue reaching out, continue talking to the ones around you who are there to support you, because they will help you gauge where you are. And if you do begin to feel depressed or need a professional, don't be afraid to reach out.
That's good.
Let's not be afraid to reach out. It's not saying that we're weak. It's saying we're strong enough to know when we need somebody else on board to help us navigate this ship. So don't be afraid to reach out. Do that if you need to. And anyone who is watching us, you may have seen our video last week on mental health. We always want to be mindful that any big change or any depression can lead to suicidal ideation. And those are thoughts of suicide. If there's anyone watching us with thoughts of suicide, please don't hesitate to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and we'll have that telephone number up for you. We never want to get away from having that number available if you do need it.
You know, Cheré, I'm so thankful for this viewer, this subscriber, because we don't know who you are, but the thought that you would be transparent enough to say, just weigh in. I had a friend probably a few months ago who had been married well over 30 years. And she was headed home on a cab ride home. And her husband said, "I'm leaving you." And she screamed and cried. And when she got there, everything was gone. The pillows, his clothes, and the cable box.
Wow.
And she's still crying, but she's not crying half as much as she once did. And so, but what I learned from that, in order for me to help her, I came home and I journaled. And I journaled what she said. I journaled what I thought. I journaled so that I wouldn't cry. But what I know has been most important and most helpful to her is that I heard her.
Yes.
I didn't offer advice. I didn't call him out of his name. I didn't call him. That was her beloved. And I left it at that. But I heard her. And every month she gets a little bit stronger. There are days when she has kept her curtains closed and you couldn't reach her. And it was difficult because we are states apart. But there was a sort of a sisterhood. You mentioned that. And we would sort of check in and find out where she was. But here's the other thing. Don't let people onto their own devices. Just don't if you don't hear from her in a few hours, check back in. And sometimes I think we have to be that way.
Yes.
And again, it wasn't my intent to say anything. We sat for hours. I held her hand. We talked. And I believe in a year she won't even be able to recognize herself. And she'll see that her life isn't over, but it is really just beginning.
Yes.
She's got a new canvas and new opportunities.
Wow.
And it doesn't mean you just grow a new heart, but what it does mean is that you take your life back.
Absolutely.
Take your life back.
Take your life back. Take your life back.
Yes.
And little by little, and we are reminding her of her worth.
That's right.
Reminding her of her worth. So I'm so glad you shared that, and I just again want people to be in the moment. And she's not looking for me to fix her or any of us.
That's right.
She just wants us to hear her.
Just be a listening sounding board.
Be in the
and
moment.
You know what I like about that subscriber, y'all, is that, as you indicated, they were willing to ask the question.
Yes.
Because as you just chimed in, she's not alone. There's
right.
so many
There
other
it is
people
again. That's
who are
right.
experiencing this and may need this information or may need somebody to talk to. And so I think that, what I'm feeling right now is I want to thank that subscriber
Yes, thank you.
for reaching in. Thank you so much. I hope that this has been helpful, and I want to encourage other people. If you have a comment to add that might be
Please.
helpful, put it in the description box. Or if you have a question that you want us to talk about on the show
Please
in some
do.
kind of way, please send it in, because you may not just be helping yourself, you may be helping someone else.
Absolutely.
And that's what we aim to do with
That's
Grown
right.
Women Talk.
That's right.
As Cousin said on another episode, that's why Grown
Women talk. That's
We
right.
got
That's
some
right.
issues.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And we need
That's
to talk
right.
about those
That's
issues.
right. We do.
Yeah.
So I
Indeed.
want to thank you so much.
Please, thank
and I
you.
hope that this has been encouraging and that it can offer hope to a situation that may at this present time feel hopeless. But I hope that it offered hope.
Yes.
Kia, thank you. That was excellent. And I also want to say, if we are honest with ourselves about, maybe we don't have 16 years and maybe some of us aren't married, but all of us know what pain feels like.
That's right.
Yes.
And so I have my trophy in a t-shirt. I thank God I'm not at that place today, but I think, again, when we have these kinds of conversations, we really do help liberate one
Yes.
another.
Yes.
We help heal one another. And it goes back to what you said. You aren't alone.
That's
We're
right.
not alone.
So-
Absolutely.
So our friends, we thank you for joining
Yes,
us today.
thank you.
We thank you for coming and talking together about an important love relationship topic.
Yes.
And as we say on our show, until next time, get ready
We said,
and go.
bye, friends.
Come join us.